Hey guys, Zerlin here. Yesterday we got a pretty big Deadlock patch and we went over it on stream, so I'm going to go ahead and make that into a quick video for you guys. If you like what you see on the video, I would appreciate if you subscribe. I'm pretty sure like 99% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, so if you would drop a sub, I'd appreciate it. If you want to check us out live on Twitch where we record these, that'd be cool too. Sorry it's been a minute since I uploaded a video, but I appreciate all of you and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks. Okay, anyways, 10/02/2025 update. Small balance update according to Yoshi. I don't know if that's accurate. Looks like there's quite a lot of big changes. Okay, first change, weapon investment bonus increase from 7/9/13 blah 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 to 7/9 blah blah blah. It looks like it's basically unchanged until like this top end. So more gun items you get more bonus for. I don't know. Gun carries are already good. Maybe it makes them slightly more competitive. I'm not sure how much of a difference that makes, to be honest. Fine, I guess. I don't know, I don't have a problem with that. Applying CC to an enemy is reduced in duration when affected by other CCs in a short interval. Each previously applied CC reduces the duration by 7% up to a max of 21% over the past 7 seconds. CC is defined as the same set of debuffs that affect reactive barriers, stun, sleep, immobilize, tether, etc. Note that abilities that apply multiple things only count as one CC, aka Abrams, shoulder charge CC on the grab and the stun, lash, alt, grab and stun, etc. Honestly, I think that the biggest like loser for this is like it's gonna fuck up a lot of people's muscle memory for combos and stuff, I think. But I think the change is probably fine. It makes it a lot harder to chain CC. Which, I mean, it doesn't even make it a lot harder to chain CC. It just makes it like less effective with like some diminishing returns. But it caps at like 21% debuff reduction. Which is basically just like having debuff remover. Like, not even debuff remover. Like, weighted shots. I think, if I'm reading this correctly. I'm curious to see how it stacks with like other debuff resistance sources. If it's like a flat added or if it stacks diminishingly. But probably a good change. Makes it like it feels less bad to get chain CC'd probably. Matchmaking updates to include more considerations for a balanced roster beyond only frontliners. I don't think that this changes matchmaking that much. It might make queues a little bit longer. This is also extremely vague. Like what does Valve consider a balanced roster? What are we looking for in our matchmaking? We're looking for like 2 frontliners, like 2 M1 characters, and like 2 like, you know, supporty characters like Paradoxer and like Kelvin or something, or like what does that mean? So I don't know, I guess maybe that'll be a good change. Hard to say without knowing the specifics. Reduced shooting lockout period when jumping from 0.15 seconds to 0 seconds. So I guess jumping is better while shooting now. And shooting while jumping applies a minus 10% inaccuracy period for 0.15 seconds after jumping. Seems like a weird change, but I guess it's fine. I don't know, let me see if I can even notice it. Like if we go in here. I guess you can shoot on your way up. That's sort of like, I don't know. This is a weird change. I feel like this is super nothing. I don't know, this seems like super nothing. Wall jumps after the first one now cost 0.5 stamina. First wall jump per sequence is free. So you get 1 wall jump for free and then the next ones cost 0.5 stamina. I have mixed feelings about this. I feel like one of the most fun parts of Deadlock is the movement and like making it so you can bounce around less feels bad. Is it a good change for the game? Probably, but is it like a minus fun overall? Also yes. And it'll definitely take some getting used to, and it'll probably change a lot of like routes. Reduced corner boosting velocity by 20%. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Oh, Yeah, it's definitely a little slower. I imagine that this will have impacts on like the rollouts and routes that people use. Like it's still good, but it's definitely not nearly as strong as before. It's kind of a bummer because it's sort of hard to do and really increase the skill ceiling, but I guess whatever. Seems fine. Mid-boss base HP increased from 12,500 to 13,000. First mid-boss was already really squishy. I don't know that that makes much of a difference for 500 more HP. Okay, mid-boss damage resistance per second reduced from 50 plus 7 per minute to 35 plus 5 per minute. So mid-boss is like less squishy? Or more squishy? Is that what I'm reading? Am I reading that correctly? So it's easier to kill mid-boss. Rejuve bonus HP reduced from 15% to 10%. Rejuve is already too strong. Second mid-boss Rejuve credits reduced from 4 to 3. That seems fine. I mean, mid-boss is still, like, I don't think this solves any of the problems with mid-boss, to be honest. Like, this does not solve any of the mid-boss problems. Even a little bit. But I guess it's a step in the right direction. Dropped unsecured soul bags now require heavy melee to secure rather than standing on top of them. Sure. Fine. I feel like I have no strong opinions about this. It might make for some fun fights over big bags. And also will prevent like the wrong people from picking up the soul bags. Could be kind of fun. Honestly, I'm okay with this. This seems like it could be kind of fun. Soul Urn. Soul Urn carriers now have 30% bullet and 30% spirit resistance. Their move speed bonus has been reduced by quite a lot. And damage taken when holding too long increased from 1% to 1.5% health, max health per second. Interesting. This part will make it so that it's less sketchy to pick up Urn, I think, and you're a little bit tankier. And this will give teams more time to respond to like going to the turn-in, so that seems good. And this change helps address some of the like, I don't know, puppy dog guarding is probably the wrong way to put it, but just like holding the urn and just like sitting on walker or something for too long. So that'll be good. Makes it a little bit more detrimental to hold on it for too long. All right. Added an extra boon at 12k. Nearby boon levels adjusted slightly. Sure. Seems fine, I guess. Neutral shop no longer gets disabled if an enemy is nearby. Cool. Honestly, this was just kind of annoying, and honestly, it didn't matter like 99% of the time. It was just awkward. This probably didn't need to be in the game in the first place. Good change. Distance to attack walkers reduced from 35 meters to 34 meters. So you have to be a little bit closer. Seems fine. Fixed ordering issues with various items with bullet-based procs. Debuffs, i.e. negative bullet resist from all procs, are now applied before any bonus damage from the procs. Okay, hold on. So debuffs are always before any other damage. So weakening headshot, crippling headshot, headshot booster, headhunter, hollow point, and mystic shot. So basically like, I guess before maybe this, like if you hit someone with like a weakening headshot, headhunter, it might not have been doing the correct amount of damage because headhunter was proccing before weakening headshot. That's how I'm reading that. Seems like a good change. Weakening headshot stocks were up crazy, and I think they're still really high for characters that like that item. Enabled input buffering for shooting, dashing, melee, and parry. This allows inputs to register before the current action is finished. How does that even feel? So like, I don't know, I'm heavy meleeing and like spam. Shooting, dashing, melee, and parry. So if I'm like, oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh god, there's a lot of changes still. So like, honestly, it's so hard for me to tell if this is any meaningful change or not. Without comparing it to previous. Probably is good. I don't know if there's some way to abuse that or not. Okay, that's all of the general changes. This is weird. The CC thing is kind of weird. The shooting thing seems like it doesn't matter. It's hard to say what the matchmaking is going to change because I don't know what they're trying to matchmake towards. And then wall jumps, anti-fun, mid-boss, still overpowered as hell. Slightly nerfed, but slightly squishier. I don't know. Probably won't make that much of that big of a difference. Unsecured soul bags kind of sounds like fun, plus fun. I don't know if it counters the minus fun of the wall jump change, but okay. And then there's some other stuff that looks like just generally good changes down here. Let's get into the meat of it. There is a lot of hero and item changes to get through here. So let's take a look. Abrams probably needed some nerfs. Siphon life damage and spirit scaling reduced by 10%, and the heal ratio is increased by 10%, so it does less damage but heals more. So it probably heals the same and just does less damage, if I had to guess. And then shoulder charge tier 1 changed from 25% weapon power to plus 20 bullet damage per shot, results in a weaker follow-up melee hit. So your follow-up melee is probably worse, but if you shoot them, it probably does a lot. Plus 20 bullet damage per shot seems like a lot. Let's swap to Abrams really quick.
No one's killing me.
And put 1 point into my 2. So if I just go like... How much does I do normally? Plus 2.2 weapon damage for 8 seconds. Oh, I still have it. Okay, so it's 20 extra damage on a shot. Never mind, that seems not that crazy. Yeah, because I read that as plus 20, not plus... Because I guess he has like 10 or like 9 pellets, I'm guessing. Yeah, it looks like... Whatever, so it makes this plus 20 damage. So I like charge... And then headshot, it's like 96. I guess that's like pretty significant, but it makes the later on like damage from your punches quite a bit worse. Billy, add footsteps to Billy's out of combat run animations. Did Billy not make footsteps? That's kind of crazy. Base move speed reduced, seems reasonable. Blasted tier 1 move speed increased. So Billy basically unchanged. Character is still very strong. And now moves faster and blasted, but slightly slower generally. Seems fine. Calico, base bullet damage increased from 1.9 to 2.0. Gloom bomb radius increased from 2.5 to 3. Ava duration increased. Leaping/height increased. Return to Shadows cooldowns reduced and radius increased. Holy, Calico got a crazy buff. Damn, Calico is very strong. Like, Calico is already kind of getting picked up more recently, and this is like a crazy buff to Calico. Yeah, Calico seems really strong right now. Doorman, doorway placement has been improved, can now be placed through veils again, and improved performance when placing doorway. I mean, most people think Doorman's doors are really annoying to use and have a bunch of problems, so I'm glad to see that that is fixed. Which is great. Let's see, Drifter's Stalker Mark sound got changed. Doesn't really change anything about the character. Solid like B or C tier. Dynamo, kinetic pulse height increased and rejuvenate aura buffed a bit. I don't think it fixes any of the problems with the character. Character is still kind of bad. Until they fix like Dynamo's laning and maybe make him a little bit more competitive in the mid game outside of just being an ult bot. I don't know. Hard for me to see this character going anywhere. GT's charge shot spirit scaling reduced from 1.11 to 1.0, so they nerfed his charge shot scaling a little bit, which is great. Rain of arrows no longer lingers. The air benefits like unlimited air dash once the ability is canceled or runs out. That seems nice. Like, I feel like it's weird to have that have been that way in the first place. So some nerfs to GT. He's probably still pretty strong though. IV. Bullet damage growth reduced. Spirit scaling per boon increased. Kudzu bomb DPS reduced. T3 DPS reduced. Stone form spirit scaling increased. And airdrop no longer grants allied bullet resistance. Still grants the barrier on drop. Man, they did not like Gun IV, and Gun IV just got a little bit worse. I don't know how much this affects Gun IV. And makes Spirit IV maybe slightly better. than Gun Ivy right now. Ivy was really strong. This might make her a little bit weaker. We'll see. It probably won't. I don't know. Hard to say. Hard to say how much this bullet damage growth matters. Probably makes a decent amount of difference. Kelvin, base bullet damage reduced. Ooh, they're nerfing Kelvin? They're nerfing the gun Kelvin? And increasing his spirit power per boon. Huh. I guess they just reduced his base damage, but they haven't reduced his scaling or anything, and one less bullet. So his gun Kelvin is a little bit worse, but it's probably still fine. Lady Geist Essence Bomb spirit scaling increased. Probably won't make it good enough to play like Essence Bomb Geist, but maybe it is. Ah, Lash nerfs. Okay. Ground strike range reduced from 11 to 10 meters. Cooldown increased by 2 seconds, and damage is reduced by 10. Kind of a light nerf. I don't think that this probably changes Lash too much. Should still be a pretty solid character. Mina. Mina's got a new heavy melee animation. Sick. Can now float in the air with Umbrella for up to 2.5 seconds with right click. Huh? I gotta try that out.
You have excellent taste.
Oh, so it's kind of like Paradox's, like Carbine. That's kind of cool. Please tell me they nerfed something else though. Please God. Rake Spirit Scale reduced by whole flat 1. T2 increases it though. T3 damage increased. Sanguine Retreats increased cooldown. Oh my god, this is the only line in the patch that I give a shit about. This is the only thing that I care about. Nox Nostra has 50% reduction in damage against objectives. Thank god. Oh, this was like, this should have been like a hotfix change of 3 weeks ago. But here we are. Nox Nostra reduced the cap on objective damage from the T3 from plus 50 damage per bat to plus 20 damage. Only a nerf against objectives. So it does 50% damage, and they reduce the damage per bat. Excellent change. Sick. This is good. That character was incredibly obnoxious. I don't know why that lasted as long as it did. Mirage, Jin's mark is now affected by cooldown reduction. That seems crazy strong.
I would die before I fear you.
Let the ley lines course through you.
Is it, Does it say where the cooldown is for the multiplier? Like if I bought compress cooldown on this.
Don't mind the blood on that. It's gently used.
Does this change how often I can apply marks? Okay, so it takes about a quarter with that. Let's get rid of this. Doesn't seem like it changed the... It doesn't really seem like it changes it that much.
Here's your chance to shape your destiny.
Let that expire. Yeah, I don't think it changes like how regularly you can apply it, so... You can spam it more, I guess. It's 1.3 seconds, you can push the button a lot. And pop marks a lot, which might have some applications if you can pop your marks more often. Like if you pop your marks more often with... It lets you do, like, it lets you apply spirit damage based debuffs more easily, I guess. I'm not sure that that matters that much. It might be stronger than I think it is. Like, that could be really good. But it's sort of hard to say. I mean, like, it would be good, like, maybe it'd be good if you, like, wanted to play Spirit Mirage, because you could escalating exposure, and, like, I don't know, maybe this is, like, overcooking, but you could just, like, spam this on a bunch of people and apply escalating exposure. That's a thought. I don't know. Maybe there's something that you can do with that, but it doesn't seem that strong. Relane with the regen spam. Yeah, I mean, it's good for Radiant regen spamming, I guess. Or Mystic regen spamming, but like, Are you really gonna buy like Mystic Regen and then compress cooldown on this? I mean, I guess it goes down to 1.3 seconds instead of, what's the base? 1.75? Like, I don't know if that matters that much. Bow's nerf with all the gun buff is so huge, I'm having a seizure. Stuff. I don't know. I don't think this matters that much, but maybe someone will prove me wrong. Mow and Krill bullet damage growth per boon increased from 0.063 to 0.07. Burrow bullet resistance reduced. That sucks. Combo duration reduced by a bit, and combo tier 2 reduced. Mow needed nerfs. I think that the Burrow bullet resistance was kind of obnoxious. I think this seems fine. Basically unkillable in Burrow. Seems like a fair nerf to Mow and Krill. A bit of a bummer for the Mow and Krill players. I know I've got a couple of Mow and Krill fans in the chat. But probably deserved. I'll have to buy bullet resist now? Hell no. I think you can survive to buy a little bit of bullet resist. It's probably a good thing. Okay. Now we got Page. Page bullet projectile speed increased by 15%. They were really slow, so that seems reasonable. Bullet damage growth reduced. Defend and fight duration increased, and the cooldown is increased. That's the, I believe defend and fight is the shield. So the cooldown's longer, but it lasts 2 seconds longer. It seems fine, I guess. Captivating read cooldown reduced. Moved the UI element to the bottom of the screen so it's more noticeable when you get hit. And captivating read's radius is increased. And I assume that is this one. Okay. Conjure Dragon now properly applies burning effect below the dragon if the dragon is far off the ground. Rallying charge damage reduced. Healing reduced. Charge both damage and healing now grows as horses travel. What? Interesting. They made them move faster and they reduced the knock-up speed. Charge spawn in time reduced to remove dead zone in front. Like the distance traveled for amp is kind of funny. I don't know that it matters very much. All of these seem like very tame Page changes. Like, I don't know, like I would say like net neutral. Probably like some slight buffs, some slight nerfs, and some reworks. Page is probably still fine. 7 static charge, tier 2, reduced from plus 8 meters to plus 7 meters. Cool. It's like way too big as it was. Power surge spirit scaling reduced by 10%. Excellent. They'll just continue to nerf lightning strike forever and ever. Storm Cloud's Lightning Strike Spirit Power reduced from 1.4 to 0.5. Yeah, they just nerf this ability all the time, and I don't know that it matters that much because the most important thing for 7 is just like Power Surge applies Shred. So I think the character will always be relevant. He has a stun, and he has a 3 that applies built-in Shred. There's not a lot of characters in the game that have built-in Shred. Holy, a lot of Victor changes, and Vindicta changes, and Viper changes. Okay, we've got a lot of V changes. Victor's base health changed from 680 plus 41 per boon to 720 plus 39 per boon, so he has less max health. It's already such, like, his base health is already so low. Pain Battery fixed the bolts hitting world geometry more often than intended, sure. Damage required to charge up front reduced from 50% max health to 40%. That seems like a buff to Pain Battery, I guess. Aura of Suffering reduced DPS spirit scaling on the minimum damage and on the maximum damage. So Aura of Suffering does less damage, but they reduced the self damage from 100% to 85%. So you take less damage from your Aura of Suffering. Might help out a little bit, I guess. Shocking Reanimation stun increased from 1 to 1.5. Spirit scaling from 1.8 to 2. T1 changed from plus 10 spirit damage per bullet to plus 3 meters radius and 100 damage. And then the tier 3 is changed from plus 200 damage and 3 meters radius to a 10 spirit damage per bullet, 20% fire rate while the ability is on cooldown. Oh, interesting. Plus 10 spirit damage per bullet and 20% fire rate while the ability is on cooldown is pretty interesting. Shocking Reanimation, improved hit detection, and Shocking Reanimation is sometimes not hitting targets that are on the Z-axis. I feel like this is the most interesting thing here. Like all this is like whatever. I don't know why they made him squishier. Um, the plus 10 spirit damage per bullet and 20% fire rate while your ability is on cooldown. It's like a decent chunk of stats for just your ult being on cooldown. That might be interesting to play around with. I don't know if that scales or not though. Let me see if... Like if there is a scaling on that, or is it just flat? Oh, it is. There's a bit of a scaling on it. So if I bought like, probably like Boundless, we're up to 14 damage per bullet. Interesting. I mean, maybe there's something here. Maybe there is something here. To like go intentionally die, and then you do a bunch of damage. Just well on cooldown. It's just like 190 seconds of 20% fire rate and more damage per bullet. Interesting. Might be worth playing around with that. Okay. Victor had an interesting change and then some stuff that was sort of like, I don't know, whatever. Might make him a little bit better. That character is poo-poo right now. Vindicta. Base bullet damage increased. This character was really bad in MM and probably like solidly C tier, so hopefully they can change it. Flight duration increased. Tier 2 increased from 7 seconds to 8 seconds. Spirit damage increased. Assassinates cooldown reduced. And bonus spirit scaling increased. I don't know, I think maybe there's like... I feel like they're pushing Vindicta towards trying to be like flying gun carry from far away for like hybrid damage and away from the tether build that everybody was running for super long. So I will be curious to see how that pans out. I don't know. The character's still just so squishy and super easy to die, but maybe this makes like carry Vindicta playable again. Viscous alt fire base damage reduced from 48 to 42. Okay, we're nerfing Viscous right click again and increasing the damage growth again. And then splatter damage is reduced, and splatter tier 1 makes it slightly faster for recharge. Probably doesn't change Viscous that much if I had to guess. More alt fire damage growth. I mean, it still takes a while to catch up to where it was before, so. Screwjob dagger has been reworked. Alright. Now stacks in both damage and slows the more daggers you hit against the same target. Kind of like Shiv. Charge based with 4.5 second time between charges. You start with 2. Damage change from 50 plus 1 to 50 plus 0.65. I assume this is the spirit scaling. And 25 plus 0.33 per stack. Has a max stack of 3. Slow changed from 50% to 35 plus 15% per stack. Slow duration increased from 1 to 2 seconds. Cooldown increased. T1 is changed from minus 4 seconds cooldown to plus 1 charge. T2 is from 50 damage to minus 8% bullet resist and minus 5% per stack. That's a lot of stacking bullet resist reduction. That's 8 plus 15 max. That's kind of crazy. And T2 is changed from plus 2 seconds slow duration, minus 1 stamina to 40% CDR on hit. Huh? That seems kind of crazy. So if I have this maxed, I don't have my cooldown. Oh, I should probably turn that off. Let's turn this off. That's like not any cooldown. Wait, hold on. There might be something here. There might be something here. We go like... Let's just buy like superior cooldown and rapid recharge. And you get 5 knives. Oh wait, the cooldown lockout is still pretty long though.
I'll be honest, I wasn't worried.
Nice job.
Still takes quite a while between them. Even with rapid recharge. There's 204 with a pretty short cooldown though.
Oh, like I've never had to fight for my life before.
Interesting. Interesting. I feel like this might make Spirit Viper like slightly more viable, but man, this projectile speed is still really bad. I don't know. Interesting. I don't know if that will make it good enough. And the projectile speed is increased. Updated sound effects. Added a pitch incrementer to impact sound, so a bunch of sound changes, sure. Lethal Venom can now be cast on non-trooper enemies, neutrals, and objectives. Lethal Venom Tier 3 upgrade can now trigger on all enemies, including troopers. They nerfed the build-up per shot. Slither is no longer leveled up by default at the start of the game, and Tier 3 is changed from 20% resists to 180 health barrier when initiating a slide. Has 0.6 spirit scaling, lasts 5 seconds and 8-second cooldown. Slither now leaves a green trail.
The amount of copper I'm gonna be throwing down Broadway is
Oh, good.
absolutely stupid.
How good is a barrier scale? 0.6? Interesting. Interesting. It's a pretty regular barrier to apply that could potentially be pretty strong. With Boundless, like a 200 barrier on like a... Huh. Interesting. Okay. Warden, last stand DPS spirit scaling. Warden just catching some nerfs. Nerf Warden ult more. And his spirit scaling is... His fire rate spirit scaling is increased and his last man is worse. So like... fine. Warden last stand is annoying. Make him more of a gun character seems good. Last up we have Wraith. Base bullet damage increased. Bullet damage growth per boon reduced. And card trick delay reduced. Wraith is in a weird spot. I don't know if this makes her more playable. If anything, Wraith will pick up play because characters like Ivy get nerfed and characters like Mina get nerfed. So maybe Wraith will see a little bit of limelight now. Hard to say. Or maybe some item changes will get there. Oh man, we got a lot of item changes to get through. Cool. Headshot booster nerfed from 50 to 45. This is probably deserved. That item was probably the strongest laning item that you could buy for 800 on a lot of characters. High velocity rounds, bullet velocity increased from plus 35% to plus 45%, reflected through upgrades as well. Not a lot of people care about bullet velocity, I feel like, but we'll see. Backstabber cooldown increased again. Good. Mystic shot damage reduced by 5. That's probably good. Cultist sack is getting nerfed. Fire rate reduced. Fire rate boon scaling reduced. Health boon scaling reduced and health reduced. And the cooldown is increased. So cultist sack is significantly worse. 10-second cooldown. Worse health, worse scaling. Worse fire rate, worse scaling. I don't know. Might be... I don't know if cultist sack is probably still buyable, but it's probably not buy for everybody all the time. Spirit Rend debuff duration increased and the cooldown is reduced. Spirit Rend I think was already pretty good and getting some play, and this just makes it stronger. Toxic Bullets got buffed. I don't think that item was seeing a ton of play, so it's probably good to give it a little bit of a buff, just 0.1%. Blood Tribute, heal reduction reduced from minus 40% to minus 30%. They are really trying to get people to buy this Blood Tribute item. It was already pretty strong. This might make it. This might push it over the end. Might push it over the edge. Hard to say. Tesla bullets fixed proc rate being improved with general cooldown reduction. Both of these items had a bug where they were proccing too much because of general cooldown reduction. All right. Well, hopefully that makes capacitor and Tesla bullets less regularly bought, but probably not because capacitor is still a functionally very unique item that is hard to change. Shadow Weave spotted radius is reduced. Fine. I don't think... Not a lot of people are buying this item. I don't think this makes anyone buy this item. Spiritual Overflow no longer grants 20% ability duration on proc, but grants 20% cooldown reduction. Ooh, but is that... I assume that that's just ability cooldown reduction, and it would not include item cooldown reduction, right? Yeah, it's just ability cooldown reduction, which is less exciting. Weird. I guess it has a 15% duration, or 15-second duration, which is pretty long. Kind of preferred the duration over the... I don't know, maybe the cooldown is just like generically stronger? Hard to say. Probably a bit of a buff. And we're getting into green items. Extra health, bonus health increased. Sick. This item was already pretty strong, and now it's stronger. Sprint boost, sprint speed increased. Heck yeah. Rebuttal now grants melee resist. It seems strange to me that item didn't already have melee resist, but cool. Spirit Lifesteal now provides +6 spirit power. This is a fairly compelling item stat-wise then. 6 spirit power plus the base effect, that's pretty strong. Resto Locket buffed. Man, that item was already pretty good on the characters that bought it, and buffing it is... I mean, I guess it probably doesn't matter that much, but... Wait, 0.4. What does the Resto Locket skill have? Is it just 0.4 for healing? Per boon, heal per stack. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's a good item. Yeah, Korean items not like this. I don't know, some of them seem like they might be pretty good. Weapon shielding is better. Spirit shielding is better. Reactive barrier got a cooldown nerf, but this item is still crazy good. Veil Walker. Alright, this item desperately needed to be nerfed. Heal reduced from 150 to 85, but it scales better. The cooldown has been increased. The reveal on damage duration increased. Initial invis fade duration increased. Reveal on spotted duration increased. So Veil Walker has been nerfed fairly significantly, I would say, but you're still moving around the map quickly. Still pretty unique item. And it still has its base stats, and the base stats on it were already pretty good. So I'll be curious to see how this affects how many people buy Veil Walker. Counterspell got nerfed again by another 0.1 second to the parry duration window, which is probably fine. People will still buy it for the things that they want to buy it for. Majestic Leap now scales with boons, and the barrier is reduced. So probably it's not worth rushing this item on pocket anymore. I think this is a reasonable change. Rescue Beam has increased in cast range. Seems fine. Fury Trance cooldown increased from 16 seconds to 18 seconds. This item was probably too strong for how much uptime it has. Probably maybe still too strong for how much uptime it has, but it's a good nerf, I think. Spirit Resilience brought back to justice. Now it matches Bullet Resilience. I don't know. They nerfed it from 30 to 25. Now they're putting it back to 30. Diviner's Kevlar got buffed with a 7-second duration increase and a 10 additional spirit power. This item was already pretty good on the characters that wanted it. It might be more compelling now on some other characters. Cheat Death got buffed 10% on the healing and damage output reduction. I feel like it doesn't matter, like, at all. Like, it's not what you're buying the item for, but... Inhibitor build-up rate increased and no longer limited to hero-only targets. Huh? So Inhibitor reduces, like, walker outgoing damage? Weird. Very weird. I don't know if that makes it any different. I don't know how much of a difference that makes, but it's very strange. Unstoppable buffed for 0.5 seconds of duration. It's already a good item. Even better. Colossus active resist increased from 30 to 35, and the radius is 12 meters to 14 meters, so Colossus got a buff. Spellbreaker's threshold increased, which honestly is kind of nice because you would get grabbed by, like, you would proc your Spellbreaker on like a lot of random stuff that didn't actually do that much damage, especially later on in the game. Rusted Barrel cast range increased. The buffs to Rusted Barrel will continue until people buy Rusted Barrel. I tell you what, Valve is trying so hard to get me to buy this item, and I probably won't buy this item. Bullet resist reduction increased, and the range cast range increased. This item is still probably worth buying in lane if you're into a gun lane, to be honest. You just pop it on cooldown on the gun person, and it's pretty good. But I'm still not going to buy it. Mystic Burst cooldown increased, that's probably fair. QSR nerfed again from 55 to 44. Oof. We just took a nerf on QSR last patch, but it didn't really affect it. Cold Front, 5 less bonus damage and 1 second more cooldown. Probably doesn't change the item that much. Mystic Slow now reduces dash and distance by 10%. It seems fine, I guess. Might be a more compelling buy. Disarming Hex increased in cast range to match Rusted Barrel. Silence Wave is nerfed by 0.25 seconds to silence. It's probably good. Melee damage on Spirit Snatch is reduced. I mean, I don't think that matters that much. Like, item still is crazy good just because, like, the 3%, I feel like that doesn't matter. So all you care about is all this stuff on the bottom. The top part is just gravy. The only thing you really care about is the bottom part. Greater expansion spirit resist increased. Forgot that item even had spirit resist on it, but cool. Ah, Spirit Burn now goes on cooldown for half the normal time when used on non-heroes rather than 0 cooldown. So Mina, like one-shotting walkers with Spirit Burn and ult is totally cooked now and is not doable. Her ult is probably still pretty reasonable damage, but it's not like we're just gonna one-shot stuff, you know? Overall, let's see, what are our biggest takeaways here? I think mid-boss is still overpowered as hell. Nothing here changes mid-boss in any big enough way to not make it crazy overpowered. It's squishier, so maybe you could try to do it earlier. The unsecured bag thing seems fun. Matchmaking updates, hard to say. Kind of depends what they're going for. The CC thing is probably just a net positive. Wall jumps is a bummer. And some of these other changes are just kind of nice. For heroes, a lot of stuff I feel like didn't change a lot. I feel like Calico stocks are like to the moon. Calico has to be like crazy good right now. I'm trying to see if anything else stands out to me. GT and Ivy were nerfed. Kelvin was nerfed a bit. Geist buffed a bit. I don't know that any of these really matter. Mina's like OP thing that she did is completely gutted, which is sick. Glad for that. Moan Curl nerfed a little bit. Page sort of not reworked, but buffed and nerfed. 7 nerfs again. Victor, I think, has an interesting change that maybe someone could figure out to play around with. This max ult thing seems interesting to me. I don't know if it'll be very good or not. Vindicta continues to get pushed towards trying to be like a gun carry in the sky. It'll remain to be seen whether or not this is enough for that. Viscous nerf. Viper, I feel like Spirit Viper is more playable with these changes in the rework to Screwjob Dagger, but hard to say. Probably could play around with Spirit Viper and it might be playable. Warden gets caught with some nerfs. Item changes. Biggest things I think are Veil Walker got nerfed a lot. Majestic Leap got nerfed a lot for rushing. Like a lot of these items that like 3,200 items that people were rushing got nerfed a lot, specifically Majestic Leap and Veil Walker, which I think is reasonable. And what else? Oh yeah, Cold Sack like was one of the other items that I think got nerfed quite significantly. So I'll be curious to see if people still buy that as much. And then I don't think there's anything super exciting in the Spirit category, to be honest. Oh yeah, QSR got nerfed a bit, Cold Front got nerfed a bit, and Mystic Burst got, like this core of items in lane definitely got nerfed a bit. So, and Silence Wave got nerfed a bit, but that item is still probably really strong. Overall, probably good changes, especially with addressing some of the big concerns with like the Mina ult meta that was going on. Mina Ivy meta might change up a little bit with this, and otherwise I feel like there's not anything super exciting. There's a lot of good small changes, but we'll see how it happens and shakes out. Okay, I'm gonna go deafen in Discord and shout people. I wish you could parry allies for the bag contest. That would be funny, but also you would like totally troll your allies. Oh, everybody left. Tragic. I guess I'm not talking to anybody. Interesting. Dustlam's got, oh fuck, whoops. I'm leaking my Discord, don't mind me. I should probably turn my display capture off. Wrong thing, that's my face. QSR nerf, Veil nerf, Mo nerf, GG's. I won't be able to climb because I'm a patch player. I think Mo is probably still fine. I really don't think they nerf Mo like that crazy. Um, but all good. I think Mo will be fine. My new Mo is fine. Oh, were you like, because I feel like Veil Walker is like okay still. Probably not nearly as good. Trust the crackhead in me? That's fair. I feel like if you crackhead it up, you're probably fine. Oh, fuck. I probably need to stop streaming here shortly, to be honest. Okay, we'll go to sleep now. Big day, Deadlock tomorrow. Quote night. Have a good night, man. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you get some good sleep. Interesting patch changes. Honestly, I don't think it changes anything like too crazy much. But I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. Ooh, I should try running around and jumping on some walls and see how it feels. I guess just you can't do the like spam spacebar for wall jumps anymore. Probably reasonable, I guess. All right, chat. Chat-ors. If you are still here, I will probably. Man, that sucks. Chaining wall jumps was so fun. I can't believe that change makes me sad. But that's okay, I guess. Hey guys, Zerlorn here. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Would make me a happy camper. I appreciate all of you. Hope you have a lovely day. There should probably be a video up next to me or something, where you can go watch other videos if you like them. And I would appreciate it if you watch more. Thanks.